I'm so excited to dive into today's video with you guys. We are going to be talking about the layout for the van. So as most of you know, I do have a daughter, so that's why having an extra seat, an actual seat in the van is super important to me. So we are going to be using this Ford Transit seat that I am sitting on right now. So originally I was thinking about putting this seat behind the driver's seat facing forward because it's illegal for any child to be facing any other direction. So it has to be facing forward. And I wanted an actual seat. And we have this Ford Transit seat. This was from a previous build and it never got used. So I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we never used it and use it. So I liked it there because Ember would be closest to me there. But in my mind, I guess I just didn't like how much space it took up. It's the first thing that you see when you walk in the van, and it kind of makes the layout a little bit awkward. So I was trying to figure out how I could better use the space and place the seat somewhere else. So I decided I'm going to put the seat right here where it's at. It's not connected right now. It's just sitting on the floor. I was just feeling out the space, and I actually really love how open it makes the floor plan feel for such a small space. So that being said, the bed is going to be directly behind this seat and go all the way across. It will be a fixed bed, and then I will have storage underneath that, which we'll get into, but the bed will be right there behind the back passenger seat, and the front driver's seat will be exactly how it is. It's not going to change. But the front passenger seat will be a swivel seat. So I actually just ordered a swivel. So before I put that back on, I'm waiting for the swivel to arrive, and then we'll be putting that seat back in. But then that way, it just opens up this whole place and you have a space to sit. I will have a lagoon mount table here, and the passenger seat will swivel. So you'll have plenty of seating and table, which I absolutely love the idea of. So that brings us to, we'll say, underneath the bed. Underneath the bed, on the passenger side, I'm going to have all of my electrical and my batteries. I'm also going to have a deep freeze, a whole fridge dedicated to just a freezer itself, because my refrigerator is quite small. So that's going to be a game changer, and I'm really excited to share more on that with you, but that'll be for a future video. That being said, the other side is just going to be dedicated to any storage that I want to keep underneath the bed. And that is going to move us into our kitchen area. So right next to the seat here, we are going to have a little bit of room between the seat and the counter. The counter is going to be 18 inches out. And I'm going to use that as storage, probably for a trash can, but we'll see. And then that's also a stepping stool to get onto the bed. Right next to that, moving on, we have the end of what will be our kitchen. And here is where I will keep our stove, which I'm going to be just using a camping stove, nothing permanent. So it'll be just countertop on top. And then underneath we'll have a drawer for our stove, and then under that we will have more storage. Next to that, we will have our small refrigerator, and underneath that we are going to have a toilet that's going to pull out, which you guys will see all of the actual appliances that I'm going to be using in later videos. This is just an idea as far as the layout goes. And then next to that, right behind the driver's seat, is going to be our sink, and under that will be our fresh water for our sink. I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Bluetti. If you're thinking about dipping your toes into the world of portable power stations, Bluetti is a great place to start. They have a wide range of portable power stations to suit your every need. Today I'm using the AC 180T, a cutting-edge energy solution that supercharges your mobile power experience. It has an 1800-watt inverter and two 716.8-watt LiFePO4 batteries to give you plenty of power for your journeys. The AC 180T delivers up to 1800 watts of AC output and a maximum combined AC plus DC output of 1900 watts. In addition, with powerlifting mode enabled, you can effortlessly manage heating devices up to 2700 watts, including hair dryers and heaters like this one you see here. A single battery reaches 80% of charge in just 48 minutes. With two batteries, it only takes 60 minutes. The AC 180T really came in handy today because I was going over the layout in the van. And when I'm going over the layout for any builds, I really like to be inside the rig so that I can really get a feel for all of the ideas that are flowing through my head. And it is winter, so it's cold outside, and it's not fun to sit in a tin bucket freezing cold when you're trying to work and be creative and get those creative juices flowing. So insert the AC 180T and add a heater, and you're good to go. So I had the heater on inside the van with me while I was sketching out the layout that I am talking to you guys about today for this video. And it did an amazing job keeping this small area nice and toasty so that I was comfortable while I was working today. I also had my cell phone plugged into the Bluetti power station as I was working as well, and I had both of them going on the DC and AC for a total of 30 minutes. I do want to note here that I did not have the powerlifting mode on. I simply had it just as a regular power station running this small space heater, and it did a great job. If you'd like to learn more about the AC 180T or any other Bluetti power stations or products, I will leave a link in the description below. And again, huge thank you to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. And again, thank you so very much. Let's get back into the floor plan of this build. And then above the kitchen, we will have closed storage all the way down the entire driver's side of the vehicle. So I do want to mention this is a 3500, so it is built to handle weight. It's not going to be super heavy, but a lot of the weight is going to be on this side. So that's why I decided to put the freezer and all of the electrical on the passenger side, just to kind of balance it out as much as I can. I was originally planning on putting windows on both sides of the van, but because the kitchen's going to be on this side and because I originally wanted the back passenger seat to be up here, but because I'm not doing that, I'm not going to worry about putting a window on this side. But on the sliding door on this side, I will be putting a window there. And last but not least, you guys know that my diesel heater is my source of heat when the van is off, and that is underneath the passenger side, front seat passenger side. And then we will also have a curtain, a privacy curtain that will go behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat to close off when I want that extra privacy. So that's pretty much it for the layout. It's a super simple layout, but I feel like it gives you maximum space usage. I have seen this particular layout, or at least very similar to it, in other 140s and 144s, so it can be done. And I just feel like it makes the best use of the space, and it makes it feel so much more open. Like, as you can see, I have everything taped off, and it just opens it up. And then that way, when you open the doors, the first thing that you're gonna see is our beautiful kitchen, and I cannot wait to get into the build itself. I pretty much have 95% of everything that I'm gonna be using planned out, which is really exciting, and I'm so excited to get that far. But I wanted to share the layout with you because a few of you have been asking for this video in particular, so I'm glad that I'm able to share it with you. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get back to you. As a lot of you know, I've done a number of builds in the past, and I think I'm most excited for this one. I am pouring my heart and soul into this build, and while I'm trying to budget as much as I can, I'm also doing my best to save up for those bigger splurges on things that I want to include in this build that are a little more pricey, that I could do without, but I'd really much rather have. And because I do love hearing from you, and sometimes you guys have like really great ideas, I am just curious to know, or what you think is the most important like must-haves in a van build. I myself know what my must-haves are, but I'm just curious to hear what your thoughts are, because maybe there is something that I didn't think of. So feel free to leave your thoughts and your ideas in the comment section below. I'm really excited to hear from you, and excited to hear what you think. I'm absolutely over the moon with this build, and I can't wait to really and truly dive in. If you'd like to follow along every step of the way, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.